Hello everyone. Today we are going to start the new topic of the chapter 3rd, that is silk. In this topic we will discuss about two key points. These are life cycle of a silk moth. Second is from cocoon to silk. It means in the first key point, life cycle of a silk moth. Silk moth, it passes the different steps of their life cycle. Second key point, from cocoon to silk. It means how can we obtain the silk fiber from the cocoon of the silk moth. Now we will discuss about both the key points one by one in the next slides. The first is silk. The first point in the silk fibers are also animal fibers. As we have discussed in the last videos, there are two types of fibers, natural fibers and synthetic fibers. Natural fibers, the fibers which are obtained from the natural sources. Synthetic fibers, the fibers which are man-made, which are prepared in the lab. And natural fibers, again these are of two types, plant fibers and animal fibers. Plant fibers, the fibers which are obtained from the plants like cotton and jute, and animal fibers, the fibers which are obtained from the animals like wool and silk. So wool already we have discussed in the last videos. Now we will discuss about silk. So silk fiber, it is an animal fiber because it is obtained from the silk moth. Second point, it is obtained from the cocoons of the silk moth. Silk fiber, it is obtained from the cocoons of the silk moth. Third point, it is formed of two proteins, that is sericin and fibroin. Next point, silk is the strongest of all natural fiber. It means silk is the strongest of all natural fibers like cotton, jute and wool. These are all natural fibers, but silk is the strongest of all natural fiber and is stronger than steel. So it is the strongest of all natural fibers. Next point, it is light and soft, which is shiny appearance. It is very lighter in weight and soft in texture, and it has a very shiny appearance. Next point, silk was first developed in China. The discovery of silk, it is in China. Now the silk, it came in other parts of the world from the China. Now we move to the next slide. Next point, the best quality of silk, it is obtained from the cocoons of silk moth, Bombyx mori. It means the best quality silk, it is obtained from the cocoons of the silk moth, which is known as Bombyx mori. Bombyx mori, it is also known as mulberry silk moth. It is known as mulberry silk moth because it is present on the, feed on the mulberry tree. So it is also known as mulberry silk moth. Next point, the caterpillar of this silk moth feeds on the leaves of mulberry trees. So the caterpillar of the Bombyx mori silk moth, it feeds on the mulberry tree. That's why it is also known as mulberry silk moth. Next point, the silk fiber obtained from the cocoon of this moth is soft, lustrous, elastic and can be dyed in beautiful colors. The silk fiber which is obtained from the mulberry silk moth or Bombyx mori, it is very soft in texture, lustrous, it means it is very shiny in appearance, and elastic, it means it very flexible, and it can be dyed in beautiful colors. So many colors it can easily dye. Next point, there are different varieties of silk like tussar silk, moga silk and kosa silk. Already we have discussed the mulberry silk which is obtained from the Bombyx mori, which is also known as mulberry silk moth. Other varieties of silk are also available like tussar silk, moga silk and kosa silk. These varieties of silk, they are obtained from the different other varieties of silk moth. Next point, the rearing of silk moth for obtaining silk is called sericulture. So the rearing of silk moth for obtaining silk, it is known as sericulture. Now we move to the next slide. Now we are coming to the main key point of this topic, that is life history of silk moth. It means silk moth, it passes one by one from the each step and of their life history. The first point, the female of silk moth lays 100 of tiny eggs on the mulberry leaves. The silk moth, the female silk moth, it gives 100 of eggs on the mulberry leaves at a one time. Next point, the larvae that hatch of the eggs are called caterpillars or silkworms. When the egg they hatch and the larva comes out of the silk moth, these larvae of the silk moth are known as caterpillar or silkworms. So the larvae of silk moth are also known as caterpillar or silkworms. Next point, these caterpillars feed on mulberry leaves and grow in size. They caterpillar or silkworm, they continuously feed on mulberry tree, the leaves of mulberry tree, and they grow in size. Now we move to the next slide. Next point, when the caterpillar is ready to enter the pupal stage, it stops feeding and weaves a net to hold itself. The second step of their life cycle, that is pupa. The very first step, that is egg. Then when egg they hatch, the caterpillar it is come out from the egg. Now the next step of their life cycle, that is pupa. So when the caterpillar is ready to enter the pupal stage, it stops feeding on mulberry tree. It means they do not eat the mulberry leaves and weaves a net to hold itself. They weave a net of their fiber to hold itself. Next point, then it swings its head from side to side in the form of the figure 8. They secrete the silk fiber and they swing this silk fiber itself in the figure of 8. Next point, during these movements of the head, the caterpillar secretes fiber made of a fibroin protein which hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fiber. As we have discussed, silk fiber, they are made up of two proteins, salicin and fibroin. So during this movement, when they swing their head from side to side, so during these movements of the head, the caterpillar, they secrete the fiber. The salivary gland of the caterpillar, they secrete the fiber which is made up of a fibroin protein which hardens, and when this silk fiber exposure in the air and sunlight, it becomes hard and it becomes a silk fiber. Now next point, soon the caterpillar completely covers itself by silk fibers and turns into pupa. Now the caterpillar continuously secretes the silk fiber and it covers itself completely and turns into the pupa. This covering is known as cocoon. So the covering outside of the pupa, it is known as cocoon, and this covering, it is made up of silk fiber. Next point, the further development of the pupa into silk moth continues inside the cocoon. It means the next step of their life cycle, inside it is inside the cocoon, because with the very first step it is the egg, then egg they hatch in the caterpillar, then caterpillar it change into the pupa. So next change in the pupa, it is already continuous inside the cocoon. Next point, at the end of the pupal stage, silk moth cuts the silken fiber of the cocoon and the young moth flies out. After then, the pupa develops into the young silk moth, and at this stage, silk moth it cuts the silk fiber and of the cocoon, and the young moth flies out from the cocoon. Now we move to the next slide. In this slide, you can see the picture of the life history of the life cycle of a silk moth. These are male and female. This is a male silk moth and this is a female silk moth. As we know, as we have discussed, the female silk moth, it lays eggs on the mulberry leaves, about 100 eggs at the same time on the mulberry leaves. When the egg they hatch on the mulberry leaf, the larva comes out. This larva, it is known as caterpillar or silkworm. You can see in the picture, these are eggs on the mulberry leaves. When the eggs they hatch, the larva or silkworm, they come out from the eggs. Now the next step, caterpillar, they change into the pupa stage, and pupa they secrete a fiber, and this fiber it is known as, this covering of the fiber it is known as cocoon. So you can see cocoon with developing moth, and this is a cocoon, and inside the cocoon pupa is there, and after that pupa is changed into the silk moth, and this silk moth it cuts the cocoon of the silk fiber and it comes out. So this is the life cycle of the silk moth. Thank you for watching my video.